There are two kinds of people in this world, givers and takers. The takers may eat better, but the givers sleep better. Given my choice, I would rather sleep better. Cheaters are cowards that are tempted to chase the fantasy of what could be instead of courageously addressing their own self-destructive behavior and cultivating what is. I have some amazingly great news to share with you guys today. There is now proof on the ground that we are winning the culture war. The liberal progressive Democrats are in a state of confusion and total retreat. Goodness creates its own heaven. Sin creates its own hell. And that's exactly what we are seeing on the ground right now in the Democrat Party. They are living in a hell of their own creation. I've made allegation before that these two college dropouts have no idea what they're doing. They have no clue how Psych 101 works, and had they bothered to even finish a basic 4-year degree, they would have been required to take Psych and Sociology and understand the ramifications of their censorship. When you tell this group over here, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't make this allegation, all that's going to do is reinforce the belief and reinforce the behavior. And since they can't control real life, they are screwed. That's why they're confused. And I hope they stay confused. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what am I talking about? This article is from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's been all over most major news outlets. The mayor of Atlanta has just announced she's not even going to try to win re-election. And they even admit it here at AJC.com. Politics is a fickle beast. In the span of 2 years, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has gone from one of President Joe Biden's most prominent surrogates, important enough to get vetted as a potential VP, to abandoning what once was considered a shoo-in re-election bid. It's over for them. They're losing the culture war on the ground, and there's nothing they can do about it. They can create whatever make-believe social media paradigm they want to and reinforce it, and some people fall for it. But on the ground, in real life, people are fleeing their value system. Businesses are fleeing their value system. They thought for sure all they would need is just that one guy in the White House and everything would be fine, and the sun would come up and birds would start singing, and you'd have the angel choir in the background. And it is a total collapse for them. A total and complete collapse. U.S. hiring sharply misses expectations in April, with just 266,000 new jobs added. Now, here's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to conflate the bad parts of the country with the good parts of the country. We're doing fine. We have all sorts of jobs. We have all sorts of businesses coming to the South and the conservative states, and they are fleeing in mass the liberal utopias in the cities. And we're putting our foot on the accelerator. DeSantis, our governor, says Floridians receiving unemployment benefits will need to start looking for work again. Get a job or get out. Get a job or get out. We're winning on this too, and this is where it's really going to come back to bite them. You see, they have made these make-believe paradigms online that say you can't question the integrity of the last cycle where we put somebody in D.C. You can't question the integrity of it. When we win, and we win big in 2022 and 2024, not going to be able to question that either. Because we're going to have census data facts to back us up. There's people out there saying that all these legislatures across the country are passing all of these new voting laws that are there. It's voter suppression. Well, guess what? The facts have it wrong. The facts have that statement completely wrong. Here's a map of the state unemployment rates, March 2021. And as you can see, all the big blue states are screwed. New Mexico, Arizona, California, Colorado, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all the blue states, Michigan, are all tanking. Meanwhile, all the conservative states, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Montana, Idaho, all these states doing great. Doing fantastic. Recovering. People are happy. This has the Democrats confuddled, for lack of a better word. They thought for sure it would be the other way around, and they would be able to be sitting up on their high perches, waggling their little fingers and saying, see, you should have done things our way. Now come on over to our side for the big win. You see, that's not what's happening. They're losing. They're losing because values are changing. This is an article from CNN talking about how hard it is to buy a house. Because why? Because so many people are buying houses. And as much as they would like to believe that there is some liberal influence in the suburbs, there's not. There's not. Once people move to the burbs and get the 2-car garage and the 2.5 kids and the dog and the yard, all of a sudden, all of that crap that got pumped into their brains in college starts to become less important. And the reality of their lives becomes important. Their tax rates. How much expendable income do they have? How safe are they? How safe are their kids? They stop believing in this nonsense of defunding the police. They don't have time to go on their little marches. They've got jobs they've got to hold down. They have responsibilities they have to live up to. And that makes them conservative. Now, I'm going to kind of turn the page here and show you an article that might make you think it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it does. This is an article out of Brazil. 25 lost in Rio de Janeiro shootout as Brazilian police clash with drug cartel in favela, which is a word for a neighborhood, or in their case, a slum. But the point is this: 24 hardened Comando Vermelho dealers lost their lives going up against the Brazilian police forces. They lost one. But nobody in Brazil is marching to have body cam footage released. Nobody in Brazil is saying defund this, that, or the other. Nobody in Brazil is saying we should ban this particular ballistic item or this other ballistic item. Are they? You see, they realize freedom is messy, to reference what I talked about yesterday. Sometimes bad things happen, and sometimes bad people got to be dealt with. That's just the reality. And I just wanted to, when we leave here, dispel some notion about Florida being overpopulated or just being a giant concrete jungle or there being too much urban sprawl, so to speak. This is the town that I live in. This is Palm Coast. Now, when you zoom in on Palm Coast, you see as many trees as you do houses. And there are waterways and lakes and canals that snake their way through. So we live literally right alongside our wildlife. And we have parks, larger areas of just all trees. But look directly to the west. There's an area out here 4 to 5 times the size of Palm Coast. That is nothing but unbroken stretches of trees and lakes and ponds. And this isn't even the biggest area. If you zoom out even farther, and you talk about the Ocala National Forest, right here, this is like 10 to 15 times the size of Palm Coast, almost as big as the entire city of Orlando. Completely unpopulated out here, full of bears and mountain lions and bobcats and boar. Florida is not overrun, is not a giant concrete jungle. There are areas, if you want to choose to live in that, you can. Here's another area. The Rich Loam Wildlife Management Area, Green Swamp Wilderness Preserve, Colt Creek, Upper Hillsborough, Ocala, Wakasasa. I mean, all sorts of big, long names I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Osceola. I mean, look at this area. Benton Conservation, Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge. Huge swaths of land in Florida that are completely undeveloped. But we still have civilization. And this is why Florida is conservative, is because Florida is primarily suburban. There's people that are going to try to tell you that that's being infiltrated by blue voters. Once people leave the cities, get out into real life, and start having responsibilities, all of a sudden their values change. And this is what we're seeing. And this is what's going to change the future. We are on the cusp of the greatest conservative swing in our nation's history. 2022 and 2024 are going to cement conservative values in this country. And it's great news, and it's something to rejoice and be happy about. So I will leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you tonight on Twitch. Everyone have a great week.